Welcome back to Naruto Anime Re-Review, Part 13. This one discussing 2 story arcs instead of 3 this time, plus 2 standalone episodes, covering episodes 158 to 167. Yeah, standalone, 2-parter, standalone, and I believe it's a 6-parter, right? It was really quick. It was basically 6 episodes. First, let's talk about the 2 standalone episodes. First up is 158. This one is simply put that the Genin, pretty much all of them except for, I think, Sakura, for some reason, yes, almost all the available Genin except for Sakura, takes the students of the Ninja Academy. Well, actually, Shikamaru got basically doesn't have to do this because he's a frickin' Choni. Yeah, they never explain exactly why he was able to opt out of this, despite the fact almost everybody else except for Sakura is here. So they all go out and basically do what's basically a survival test. And Naruto, of course, basically has Konohamaru's team. Yep. So, and they get lost. Though Choji is an effective leader when it comes to stuff like this, where he points out various plants that are edible because he's come up with a plant that says with food. So points out that this plant is good to eat, this plant is not good to eat. Stuff like that. In the case of Rock Lee, I thought it was so cool the fact that his team calls him Lee Sensei, and he thought that was awesome. I do too. I thought that was amazing, despite the fact he's not technically a teacher. Well, not yet, anyways. We don't see what Neji's. They do see a little bit what Neji's team is up to, and a little bit what Hinata's team is up to. 1010 don't exactly see what her team is up to. Not really, no. Sakura is nowhere to be seen in this. Presumably, probably because she's still doing training for Sonata. Yeah, she doesn't do a lot. Like, it seems like after the first filler arc, after the Sasuke Shiro arc wrapped up, she seems like we see her in these arcs. She's not doing a lot. She appears very briefly. Usually, she's just training. Though they do this comes into play a little later on. So Naruto's team does basically go off the trail, and they have gone up the mountain where they're supposed to go to. They briefly spend time in the cave when it starts raining. Apparently, it's a big hurricane coming through. Everybody managed to get back, no problem, except for Naruto's team. So Shikamaru and Haruka had to go look for them. They do find the cave they briefly stayed in, and of course Naruto protects his team, and of course Naruto gets chastised by Sonata over this, and of course he runs away. Yeah, there comes a minor gag where he runs away, where he does this again later on when she finds out he fails the mission. But we'll get to that probably later arc. Yeah, it's an interesting one to say the least. The other one is the appearance of strange visitors. Yeah, 2 random ninja disguise himself as Rock Lee and Guy for some reason. Why these 2? No idea. And they try to act like them, and apparently they're not fooled by. And the only person who's fooled by them is actually Naruto, surprisingly, because he's an idiot. So he thinks he's these guys, and later on they do run into later in the episode that they do run into Rock Lee and Mike Guy, which they beat him up, and they basically sort of blast off. Yes, they blast off like Team Rocket from Pokemon, and they're never seen again. It's almost like this episode is written by one of the writers from Pokemon. Yeah, it's not an episode worth talking about because it's just very lame, to say the least. Like, oh, we have Guy and Rock Lee imposters for no reason. I get the fact these 2 are popular characters, but in terms of the series, why would you pose as these 2 for? I mean, I get my Guy, but Rock Lee? Again? Seriously? Okay, fine. Alright, now there's a couple story arcs. Well, first one's really short. It's the Gosunkugi capture mission. Sonata, of course, is briefly seen in a flashback. Oh yes, now here's the thing. There is a team sent to go look for this guy, Gosunkugi. And it's made up of Naruto, Kiba, and Hinata. One of like 2 or 3 times in this particular series, in these filler arcs. I think but this is the lineup for his team. It's used by 2 or 3 more times after this. Their job is to capture a thief named Gosunkugi, who stole a teapot from the feudal lord of Land of Tea. So Naruto because oh, this be easy, and this is just a quick two-parter. Yep, and this I thought was really nice. We get another Naruto Hinata moment in this particular arc, where Hinata makes sandwiches for Naruto and Kiba and herself, and she makes a sandwich looks exactly like Naruto, which I thought was so hilarious. Then he ends up eating it and goes like, this tastes so good. And now you make some a good wife someday. And I was thinking the same thing I did 3 years ago. She become his wife. Yep. So they go out and they find Gosunkugi. Yeah, it turns out he's not a normal thief. Nope, the guy is a bloodthirsty killer. As found out by an actual bounty hunter they somehow just run into at this old western town. And apparently the guy doesn't take he doesn't like Susie capture him. He says, give it the guy. Yeah, it turns out though by the end of the episode because though he's actually wanted. Why is a bounty hunter wanted? Well, for an absolute stupid reason. Okay, he's accused of murdering a family. Despite the fact that it was later pointed out though that the village, which is of course his own village, never did proper investigation. They just randomly accused him because, oh, he wasn't at the festival. Instead of, doing a proper investigation and wasting a bounty hunter's time. Gosunkugi himself is captured by the authorities. And yet somehow they chalk up as a mission failed despite the fact, even though they were tasked with capturing Gosunkugi, but he was technically captured. So technically the mission was a success, though they were not exactly hurried to go back to the village. Oh yeah, by the way, how they captured him is quite interesting to say the least. They hit him with the bounty hunter who had basically ran to Gosunkugi, beat him up. Well, Gosunkugi beat up the bounty hunter. And this guy is voiced by Steve Bloom. I know because I heard his voice. So he tells his backstory, and he basically was going. The family who got killed, turns out they had ordered a sword from him, and he was basically just dropping it off. And it's implied that the sword he carries around is actually the sword he was, going to deliver anyways. Oh yeah, and why did Gosunkugi murder this family? Money. Kill for the money. Yep. And of course, Bounty was chasing after him. Yeah, he basically chastised the village for not doing proper investigation. Yep. Gosunkugi himself basically was arrested, and he confessed to everything. This is after, of course, he'd been captured by, the other bounty hunter, and of course, Naruto, Hinata, and Kiba basically went after him. Also, this is a mission where there's no mission leader. Yep. Yeah, they have this thing in this particular filler episodes where they go on a mission and there's a designated mission leader. Like in this one, nope. Apparently, Sonata doesn't trust any of the three of them to basically lead this mission. I would think that maybe either Naruto, one of the three of them should pick a mission leader. Nope. Don't pick any of them for some reason. Don't know why. Oh yeah, and also, even Naruto easily points out, though, heck, even Kiba agrees with, why are we chasing after a guy who stole a teapot? Because people requested it. Yeah, it's an okay two-parter. Does it develop anything? Well, this is a little bit more for Hinata. But aside from that, not much at all. It's a little bit for Naruto as well when he basically comments on, Hinata. But that's it for that arc. The next arc is to put the Cursed Warrior Extermination mission. Where a guy from the land of birds, yes, the land of birds, that's the name of this place. It's a tiny country. Apparently, and this guy comes to visit Sonata. He brings a good amount of money, and he basically is asking Healy Fields to investigate a ghost. And, it's implied that Sonata turns out, but she actually accepted it anyways. Because she has no problem with the money. The money's not the issue. It's the nature of the mission she basically is questioning. So, the guy basically is broke, so Naruto buys him food. And of course, he speaks to Sonata, but of course, Sonata, he sort of accuses her of basically trying on a mission just because. So she basically gives him a black eye, and she says, Neji intends to get back a mission. You two, you're going out with them to land a bird to investigate this cursed warrior. Yep, and it's a very good six-parter. Yeah, it's very well handled. Now, there's a bit of development for Naruto in this arc. Not much. Neji and Tenten don't do much of anything this whole arc. Yeah, they fight a few cursed warriors. It's not until toward the end oh yeah, the guy who hired him, like, oh, like after they apparently capture this other guy who they think is the actual guy who was responsible for the cursed warrior. Nope, turns out he had nothing to do with it at all. Turns out it was the actual client that hired them. He was responsible. He was not exactly responsible for the cursed warrior. He was responsible for the death of the previous feudal lord. Neji figures out the reason what caused it. Poisoning. What's that poisoning was it? Never revealed because they're basically confronted by a bunch of the country soldiers. They'll chase the country, and it turns out this whole plan was orchestrated by a bunch of wandering ninja. Yep. Oh yeah, and these guys apparently they claim they steal jutsu, even though they just use genjutsu to claim they use these abilities. Like, yeah, and Kakashi shows up like, really? When did Sonata send him out? This made no freaking sense. Having Kakashi was fine. I have no problem with Kakashi here. But why send him? Like, I get the fact he's well known, but it's like, okay, mission's over, so have Kakashi's come back. Instead of, like, you could have sent my guy. Of course, well, Tenten and Neji basically more listening to him than, let's say, Kakashi. Naruto doesn't even know he's even there until he runs into him later. Naruto does his own investigation into the cursed warrior. Of course, Gamakachi and his brother. They're summoned to help look around. And then, of course, after the whole cursed warrior revealed that, oh yeah, it was actually the feudal lord all along, the current one. Yeah, it turns out the feudal lord is not a guy; it's a woman. And it turns out that they publicly they think that the daughter died. Nope, it was the son. So the daughter's imposing the son as the feudal lord the whole time. Oh yeah, and also it's Johnny Ambasha's voice. Yeah, then of course they switch over to the female voice for reasons. Yeah. Oh yeah, and also the jutsu they claim to know is basically these guys claim to know the fireball jutsu, a jutsu that Sasuke uses. They even claim to use a couple of jutsu used by freaking Gaara of all people. Yes, somehow they know sand ninja jutsu for some reason. It's never actually explained. Oh wait, it's actually genjutsu. Oh yeah, then he summons 3 dragons. And these are not real dragons. Nope, they're just protectors. Like, wow, okay. Yeah, the villains this arc are so lame. Yes, the Wandering Ninja uses genjutsu to claim they know all these fancy jutsu. By the way, once again we have where Gamakachi, he just disappears off screen again. Yeah, second time appears in the anime original stuff. Yeah, him and his brother are summoned, they look around, and after Naruto switches places and basically teams up with the actual one responsible and take down the actual bad guy, they disappear. They apparently went back to the Tomo where they came from. It's never seen. Of course, they say, bye, Naruto. Yeah, they just disappear for some reason. Yeah, second time Gamakachi shows up, and then he just disappears for no reason. Yep. And what was the purpose of bringing him? Yeah. But aside from the weakness of the villains, the arc itself was quite interesting to say the least. I mean, I like the stuff with the Cursed Warrior and the fact that at the very end, the daughter of the previous lord actually becomes the actual lord, and the people have no problem with it. She apologized for deceiving them, and they all fully support him. Even the guy who they think was against them, turns out she was actually against the other guy, not the actual lord. He had nothing against her at all. Mm-hmm. Yeah, all in all, in the case of these episodes, the 158 is a okay episode. 161, easy, skippable. It's really stupid. The Gamakachi capture mission, Gosunkugi, it's interesting to say the least. Mainly if you want to watch it, just watch it if you're a fan of Hinata, because basically Hinata gets a little more to do with this one. The Cursed Warrior, fun story arc, weak villains. Yep. But not much else to say about these episodes. yeah, it gets a bit weirder after this. Also, the whole thing of basically having another guy kill the current lord just to steal position. Yeah, that becomes a recurring plot thread that pops up a couple times throughout the rest of this series. He pops up in 2 movies. Yes, they reuse this plot thread for the very first Naruto film and the third one. Yeah, where a guy who's hungry for power kills the current leader, to assume his position. Yep. But not much to say about these episodes. They're good. So, yeah. So, that's it for Single Review. I have a few more reviews to do today. Next one, of course, is a video a video I was hoping to do yesterday, but I didn't get a chance to because it got late. My next one I'm going to do is the first episode of Season 3 of Is It Wrong to Drag Up Girls in a Dungeon? Yep. I'm going to do that. Then case closed. And then back to Naruto. Yep. By the way, thanks to Mission 167. I have less than 100 episodes left. I think it's like, let's see. Well, going on to 160, that's like 40. That's like 160 minus 7. I have overall like 53 episodes left to go for the entire series of the original Naruto anime. Yeah, 53 left. Yeah, not much left. Yeah, I'm basically watching the Funimation website for this one, and they have the entire original Naruto anime. Yep, they have the entire original thing. Now, the thing with this series is, like, after the first few story arcs, they do this thing where, like, they do, like, a story arc, a standalone episode, story arc. They do this for pretty much most of the rest of the series. Well, except for the last 3 story arcs, they do basically 3 story arcs in a row, instead of doing, like, a standalone episode between each of these arcs. But in case you're wondering, like, how many standalones those left me, I recovered the first 3 so far in these reviews. It was like 1, 2, that's 5, 8. Basically, there's about 9 left overall for the entire series. Yeah, this series, the original Naruto anime, didn't have that many standalone episodes. There's actually, believe it or not, a lot more for Shippuden than there is Naruto. Yeah, Shippuden had a lot more standalone episodes than the original Naruto anime did. Probably because it was also longer, too. Yeah, but at least it's not like where this series, where like 2 full seasons are pretty much all filler. Yep. But yeah, not much to say about this, so that's it for Single Review. Stay tuned for that other video. Is a Wrong Type of Girls Dungeon soon. And, of course, other videos, okay? See you in the next video. Bye.